Okay, so last time we were here, we look up. Oh, this is not working. We look up oil spills, but then I look up these girls here. I like this girl, Anne Hathaway. She's a very nice, pretty girl. She seems like she would be fun to hang out with, to have like I don't know, hang out with plants and ferrets. I think maybe look at all these pictures of her. Do you see? Do you see them? She's a pretty girl. I like her. She's a nice girl. I think. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think maybe mustaches on girl like this wouldn't. No, that's not good. But anyway, here we go. Looking at pictures of wonderful girl, and she's a beautiful girl. I think inside her heart is like really, you know, nice. So I don't know. You have to tell me about things. She looks like a nice girl, though, I think. But there she is. There she is. Again, in pink. What is this picture? It's not working. Okay, well, internet is not always working wonderfully enough for us to have. But she's a pretty girl, and you know, she looks really sad here. I don't like this picture because I wonder why she's sad. Here she looks like she's really happy. Hmm. All these pictures. We were gonna look up today. What? Oh no! Oh no! What happened here? What did she say? Hmm. Where's that guy? I think maybe this guy. Hmm. Well, I don't understand pictures like this. Pictures like this are always more better than said pictures. You know, that's why we look up kittens all the time. You know, we should look up kittens again, or ferrets, or something. Mm. But I am gay, so I like kittens. Mm, there she is. Hmm. Pretty eyes. I love her eyes. What? What are we going to do about this whole thing? Oh, I know what we're going to look up. Aspertame. How do you spell? Think? Maybe? Hmm. There it is. See, this is most worst thing you can. Aspartame, you don't want. No, 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 no. I ain't talking about how wonderful it is, but it's not good for you. Cause you know what? Let's watch video. How do you spell aspartame again? As. It's kind of funny that they say that. As per. Nope. Is that like joke or something? I think maybe. I think maybe what they were doing was they were being like really sly about how they were going to advertise all this stuff. Because they said aspertame. We have to look into this. Because it would be like, I am going to tame your ass. That would be the other way of saying it. But then they put it the other way. And they said aspartame. I wonder about these companies that make up wonderful words. But we can find out about, aspartame. See, right here, aspartame is very dangerous, hazardous for humans. Let's watch this one. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and learn about how aspartame, or tame your ass, is probably what they should call it. I think, maybe. I don't know. We have to find out. Here we go. We're going to find out about these stuffs. See? Aspartame is very dangerous.
Aspartame is 200 times sweeter than sugar and is used in over 5,000 products worldwide. Aspartame is a man-made chemical made from 2 synthetic amino acids. When consumed, it acts as an excitotoxin. As Dr. Russell Blaylock has explained, an excitotoxin overstimulates neurons and therefore causes nerve damage and brain damage. It is this overstimulating effect that tricks the brain into sweetness. Aspartame causes weight gain because it stops the trigger of feeling full. It also causes weight gain because the liver has less energy for fat burning when aspartame is being processed. There are hundreds of studies that give conflicting reports about its safety. Those funded by the aspartame industry suggest that aspartame is safe, while most other studies conclude that aspartame can cause health problems, especially with the nervous system, and that's why you should avoid aspartame. If you'd like to learn more about why to eat organic food and how to live naturally, you can read this informative book, The Beginner's Guide to Natural Living.
Yep. I think what they are doing here is like really interesting little things about aspartame. Aspartame, brain cancer, the FDA approved process. For me, I would not take any aspartame because it seems like it would be a bad thing. It's chemically made, like she said. I mean, how much times do I have to tell you guys about, like, oh look, see, here we go.
The ingestion of the widely used artificial sweetener called aspartame, better known as NutraSweet or Equal, may just be responsible for what the authors say is a dramatic increase in the number of people who develop brain tumors. Consumer advocates and researchers have become more vocal about what they say may be aspartame's adverse effects. They are asking the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, to take another hard look at aspartame.
We're talking about a compound that millions of people are consuming on a regular basis. Children are a particular concern, and of course, pregnant women are of special concern.
Dr. Deborah Davis is a leading epidemiologist who serves on the faculty of the Strang Cornell Cancer Prevention Center. She's published widely on the environmental causes of brain cancer. Is brain cancer mortality increasing in industrial countries?
Without any question, it is.
Why?
We don't know why. I mean, that's the thing that we've been very concerned about. There are multiple factors we have to look at, but one of them may be, for some people, increased consumption of aspartame.
Better known by its brand names NutraSweet or Equal, aspartame is the most popular sugar substitute in the world. Since the FDA approved it back in 1981, it has become a multi-billion-dollar industry. What most consumers don't know is that aspartame's approval was one of the most contested in FDA history. Consumers have reported more than 7,000 adverse reactions to the FDA, ranging from dizziness to headaches to seizures. But the makers say it is the most tested food additive ever and is safe for the tens of millions who use it worldwide. But Dr. John Olney, who has been studying aspartame's effects on the brain for more than 20 years, disagrees. He is a neuroscientist at Washington University School of Medicine. His new study analyzes U.S. brain cancer data in the years before and since aspartame's approval.
There's been a striking increase in the incidence of malignant brain tumors.
Dr. Olney does not say flat out that aspartame is responsible for the rise in brain tumors, but he does believe that his analysis of the data shows that it's the most likely suspect, because he says many researchers have discounted other environmental factors. And Olney says the same types of aggressive brain tumors that showed up in the aspartame animal studies over 20 years ago are now increasing in the American human population.
I'm saying that there's enough basis to suspect aspartame that it needs to be reassessed. FDA needs to reassess it, and this time around, FDA should do it right.
Aspartame was discovered in the mid-60s at G.D. Searle, the Chicago drug company. Searle was bought by Monsanto and then was spun off to form the NutraSweet Kelco company. The FDA originally approved aspartame back in 1974, but FDA investigators soon found serious problems in some of the studies that Searle had submitted to the FDA, and so a task force was organized to investigate many of Searle's tests.
There were some very serious deficiencies in the conduct of some of those experiments.
Dr. Eric Millstone is a food safety expert at the University of Sussex in England. He's been a critic of Britain's approval of the sweetener for over a decade. He says that Searle's tests in the early 70s were so flawed, there is simply no way to be sure that aspartame is safe.
Well, for example, a rat died during the course of an experiment, but apparently that rat was not then carefully dissected to see whether there was any evidence that the compound might have killed the rat, and there were many other deficiencies in the conduct of these tests. Tumors appeared in some of the animals and they were simply cut out and discarded, not reported. There were occasions when antibiotics were administered, but that was not reported.
All of this by G.D. Searle?
G.D. Searle and some of the companies working under contract to G.D. Searle.
Because the FDA task force found so many discrepancies in Searle's data, in late 75, the agency put the approval on hold before aspartame could hit the market. The FDA commissioner back then called the test at best sloppy and said their investigation revealed a pattern of conduct which compromises the scientific integrity of the studies.
According to the FDA themselves, Searle, in making their presentation to the FDA, had willfully misrepresented the facts and withheld some of the facts that they knew would possibly jeopardize the approval of the product.
Former Senator Howard Metzenbaum's staff investigated the aspartame approval process. Since he's retired from the Senate, he has become chairman of the Consumer Federation of America.
The FDA officials themselves were so upset that they sent the file to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Chicago for the purpose of presenting it to the grand jury as to whether or not there should be indictments. It wasn't presented. It was delayed.
Samuel Skinner, the U.S. attorney who led the grand jury probe, withdrew from the case while he was in job discussions with Searle's Chicago law firm, Sidley & Austin, a job that he later accepted. The investigation stalled, and the statute of limitations on the aspartame charges ran out. As a result, the investigation was dropped. Skinner denies any responsibility for this. Meanwhile, an FDA field team inspected Searle's labs. Their report was highly critical of the way that Searle conducted key animal feeding studies, saying that the chemical being tested was not properly mixed with the food, thus allowing the rats to eat around the big chunks of the test substance. Dr. Millstone says that the teams which reviewed those Searle studies looked only at their statistical validity and did not examine safety issues.
Teams of investigators were given very narrow briefs, very narrow terms of reference, which essentially ensured that they never addressed the most important question, which was, were the tests properly conducted, were the tests honestly reported, and was it possible to be confident that a compound is safe?
In 1980, more than 5 years after the controversy began, questions still remained about aspartame. So the FDA had 2 separate panels of experts evaluate the cancer issues. Both panels concluded that the agency should not approve aspartame until more tests were done because of concerns about brain tumors. But in 1981, Dr. Arthur Hall Hayes was appointed as President Reagan's new FDA commissioner.
And that commissioner of the FDA, overruling 3 outside scientists and 3 internal scientists working in the FDA process, who said it should not be marketed. That commissioner overruled these people and said, I'm going to let it go on in spite of these rulings.
Attorney Jim Turner is a consumer advocate with Citizens for Health. He helped get the FDA to ban cyclamate, another artificial sweetener. He has been challenging the FDA's aspartame approval for over 20 years.
The issue is that it did cause brain tumors in animals. The public board of inquiry that was convened by the FDA of outside experts ruled that it should not be marketed until the cancer question was resolved.
2 years after Commissioner Hayes approved aspartame for dry products, he approved it for soft drinks, after which use of the sweetener skyrocketed. Hayes left the agency a few months later and took a job with Burson Marsteller, the PR firm for Searle. The so-called revolving door and the FDA's approval process were 2 issues Senator Metzenbaum asked the General Accounting Office, the GAO, to investigate for his 1987 hearings on aspartame. The GAO did not examine scientific or safety issues, but they found no improprieties with the revolving door issues, and they said the FDA had adequately followed its food additive approval process. The GAO looked into all of that, and they saw nothing wrong with this so-called revolving door.
I'm not saying that there was something legally wrong. What may be legally right might be ethically questionable.
Some scientists allege that the industry tries to influence research. Dr. Ralph Walton, a professor of psychiatry at Northeastern Ohio University's College of Medicine, recently did a survey of aspartame studies. He found that the results of industry-sponsored research turned out very differently from the non-industry-sponsored studies.
I looked at the medical literature addressing the safety of aspartame. I found 164 studies. 74 were funded by the NutraSweet industry. Every single one of them attested to the safety of aspartame. Of the 90 independently funded studies, 83 identified a problem.
And what are you saying?
I think it's inappropriate for researchers to have a vested interest in the outcome of their research.
When we have evidence that something produces cancer in animals, we'd better pay attention to that evidence. That's a basic tenet of public health. And the question of how much evidence is enough is not a scientific question. It's a policy question. That's what the FDA has to deal with.
The FDA says they will carefully consider any future adverse data on aspartame that they find convincing enough to warrant investigation. Meantime, NutraSweet is being test-marketed in China, a potential market of about 1 billion people.
See, this whole thing here is like, why do they want to hurt people's, again, we're back here at Page, and you guys watched a wonderful video. But, maybe, I don't think you guys want to listen to musics. Like, I wanna listen to some musics. But I want to tell you more about, aspartame. Aspartame is really bad for you. It's not made for human consumption, I think. Apparently. Well, let's look up. Well, you know what? there was, I don't want to say. You know, it's all up to you people to, hey, yeah, there we go. Okay, so, if you get a chance, look up this video here and watch, because it's a very good video to watch, and then you can make up your whole minds about, you know, should
I did it!
Did what?
I climbed this mountain!
Huh. Well, I save hundreds on my car insurance with Geico.
Oh.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
But anyway, that's a little commercial. But if you guys want to, Sweet Misery, A Poisoned World. This is a documentary you should watch about
How many
aspartame.
people do you know these days with a neurological disorder? How many family members or people in your circle of friends have something like fibromyalgia or lupus? How about a brain tumor? Studies in the New England Journal of Medicine show a growing trend in the rate of such disorders in recent years. Perhaps like me, you've never given the issue much thought. But in 2002, I could no longer ignore it. I also became a statistic when I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. It was the summer of the Great Fire in Tucson, Arizona, when I began my research and traveled across this country to find the truth. Talk a little bit about that, or is that true, or is that...
Well, yeah, the technology we have in looking at the brain has changed rather dramatically. Now, the increase in brain tumors has nothing to do with our ability to see these things, because that's been looked at. And the studies have shown that it's a real increase in brain tumors. It has nothing to do with our improvements in technology.
The National Cancer Institute recorded an impressive increase in incident rates of primary brain cancer since 1985, and possibly as early as 1984. Dr. H.J. Roberts, director for the Palm Beach Institute for Medical Research, found this trend particularly disturbing. At a time when this trend was singularly attributed to more innovative scanning and diagnostic procedures, Roberts noticed a series of conflicting themes. First, adequate brain scanning devices were widely available for at least...
See, this is what I'm talking about. All you guys gotta watch is this videos to find out about aspartame. This is very bad drug. It's worse than, I don't know. It's in everything, I think, now. But anyway, I don't want to spend your time. You go here and look up Sweet Misery, A Poisoned World. And watch video, and then come back to my page and tell me what you think. I hope I help you people out, because, you're wonderful peoples to be, watching this stuff.